Mexico 1986. The hosts play West Germany in the quarter-finals, and in the 110th minute, Javier Aguirre earns himself a red card before the Germans win out on penalties. 4 decades later, and Mexico hasn't reached the last 8 since. It's now up to that man, Javier Aguirre, to put things right. So as Mexico prepare to play England in the round of 16, let's take a closer look at the manager known as El Vasco, analyse their game against Ecuador, and recreate it in FM26. Now this isn't Aguirre's first rodeo. He was in charge in 2002 when Mexico lost 2-0 in the round of 16 against USA, and again 8 years later as Argentina beat them 3-1 at the very same stage. Between those World Cups, Aguirre spent 4 years at Osasuna, where his defensive, counter-attacking 4-4-2 yielded a Copa del Rey runners-up medal and a 4th place finish, earning Champions League football for the first time in the club's history. That secured a move to Atletico Madrid, where, thanks to the formidable strike pairing of Diego Forlan and Sergio Aguirre, he would once again deliver a 4th place finish in Champions League football. At the time, it was their best finish in 12 years. A poor run in early 2009 saw Aguirre sacked after 2.5 years, which paved his return to the Mexico national team. After a second spell with Mexico, Aguirre bounced around, 7 jobs in 12 years. There were highs, like the President's Cup with Al Wahda or the CONCACAF Champions League with Monterrey. There were lows, like Egypt's AFCON exit at the round of 16 and Leganes' relegation. And then there's the controversy, a match-fixing scandal with Zaragoza, which was later cleared. In March 2022, Aguirre took over at Mallorca, and with just 9 games remaining of the season, he would save them from relegation. Now employing a 3-5-2, he would take them to the Copa del Rey final 2 years later, where they would lose on penalties to Bilbao. Just 2 months passed before he'd return to the Mexico national team. In March 2025, they beat the USA to win the Nations League. 4 months later, they beat the USA again to win the Gold Cup. In his 10 competitive matches in charge prior to the World Cup, Mexico won 8, drew 1, and lost 1. They've won every game in this tournament so far without conceding a goal, and yet the fans are booing.
Well, the boos tell it all.
My steak is too juicy, my lobster too buttery. Okay, that's not fair. The ever-passionate Mexico fans have cause for concern, so let's look at the Ecuador game to understand why. We'll start with the good. Mexico have just recycled possession, and we can see a clear 3-2-5 structure in possession. On the right here, Mora and Alvarado tend to switch positions throughout the game. As the ball makes its way out to Mora, we see Sanchez immediately looking for the overlap. Alvarado will drop back to create space for Mora to drive inside, and Jimenez will come across to support. That creates the opportunity for a 1-2, and Mora's low cross is cleared. But this also highlights a problem. Quinones, surrounded by 3 defenders, was the only player to aim for. Alternatively, Mexico likes to bait the press. We can see Rangel takes his time on the ball to draw Ecuador out, and that creates the space to ping it long into Jimenez and then attack at pace. The shot is blocked, and again we can see Mexico don't need to commit lots of bodies forward. We see an element of this for the opening goal, patient build up deep, then as the ball moves to the forward players, there's a chance to move quickly and exploit the space in behind. Quinones still has a lot to do, but he thundered it in at the near post. The second goal involves that long ball into Jimenez. He does well initially, and despite a poor second touch, that creates an opportunity to press immediately, leading to him getting the ball back. Ecuador panic and ball chase, creating the space for Jimenez to double the lead. All good so far, 2-0 up inside 30 minutes, what's not to like? With Ecuador chasing in the second half, Mexico defends. Lira, the defensive midfielder, drops into the backline. Sometimes Romo does instead. But overall we see a back 5, with some kind of narrow blob in front of it. And it works brilliantly. Ecuador are unable to find pockets of space to progress, and instead resort to hopeful balls forward. Eventually the ball makes it out wide, and there's almost a back seven, all in a straight line. There is pressure on the ball carrier, but not overcommitment. Then, when the mistake comes, Mexico are ready to counter. Mora drives forwards and does brilliantly to win a free kick and relieve pressure. Mexico are organised and disciplined, and that means they often don't have the ball. 43% against Ecuador, 48% against Czechia, 42% against South Korea. Only against 9-man South Africa did they win the possession battle. That's fine if you're winning, but if, at half-time, in front of a home crowd, you're not, that's when the boos ring out. Aguirre, though, is a pragmatist. He cares not for aesthetics nor style, and that just might be what's needed to beat England. To understand how Mexico sets up, let's look at the player data. In goal, Rangel is comfortable on the ball and mixes his distribution, but is not required to sweep. Jorge Sanchez at right back makes those overlapping runs we saw earlier, but not a single cross attempt. Gallardo on the left also stuck to the touchline and was a little more direct. At centre-back, Montes didn't venture far and often looked to play it long. His partner Vasquez was more involved and tended to be safer with his distribution. In the pivot, Eric Lira kinda popped up all over the pitch but kept things relatively simple. Louis Romo was similar, albeit a little higher up in possession. Wonder kid Gilberto Mora offered enterprise, active on the right, in the half space, and occasionally drifted to the left. Roberto Alvarado on the right got involved up and down the pitch and was the team's primary creator. On the left, Quinones provided width before cutting inside in the final third and acting as that second striker. And Raul Jimenez up front, who we can see drop deep to help link play. Altogether we end up with something like this: balanced tempo but looking for counter-attacking opportunities, short distribution but bypass press for mixed build-up, dribbling and crossing are discouraged to prevent wastefulness, and passing is a little more direct but also set at a player level as shown earlier. Out of possession, it's a split block. We press in the opposition half but otherwise drop back and hold shape. We trap outside to clog up the middle, with the defensive midfielders situationally dropping into the back line. Now personally, I'm not a fan of this approach. I tend to be cautious myself, but this is a little too passive for my liking. I fear against technical teams who can operate in tight spaces well, Mexico will struggle. So let's see how it gets on. The first point of order is the squad. FM does not rate Alvarado's work rate or defensive qualities, so I reckon AX Orbelin Pineda is likely to be my starter on the right, especially as he will be more comfortable swapping with the central midfielder. Everyone knows now about Gilberto Mora, and he is phenomenal at such a young age, but Brian Gutierrez was the starter in Mexico's opening games, and quite possibly will be for me too. Eric Lira is a player I've liked in FM for a while, often crops up in data analysis as a high-level performer. I might, however, shift him forward into Romo's role. Romo is a similar quality attribute-wise, but I prefer Lira, and I also prefer Edson Alvarez, who I want in the pivot partly because of his aerial and defensive ability when out of possession. Finally, Rangel is great, albeit poorer agility than I'd normally like. Guillermo Ochoa, however, is a legend, and for me, that takes precedent. My opinions might change as the tournament goes on, but for now, this is my starting lineup. Here we are, game one, Orbelin in, Alvarez in. Let's see how we get on. I've got a good feeling against South Africa. This should be a relatively easy game. Right, an early chance from a free kick. Here's Gutierrez swinging it in, and we can't get there. But Quinones! Ooh, not bad. Not bad. I do like how Lira is kind of buzzing around, that's nice. Here's Jimenez to Gutierrez. Yeah, that wasn't ever going in. And I'm not sure we've necessarily been good, but we've been better than South Africa, which is something, right? Here's Pineda. Okay, can he create something from here? Whip it in, lad. There we go. Quinones! Boom! There we go. There's our opener. That's what we needed. Beautiful stuff. Now, Sanchez, I was going to criticise for not overlapping there, but he obviously knew Pineda was going on his own there. Orblin looks up, swings it in. It is just one man to aim for, though. Quinones rising at the far post. Bosh. Half-time, solid. 0.29 XG to 0.18. I mean, we've had highlights, so I'm happy. Well, we haven't seen much from South Africa, so maybe a chance here. Here's Oswin. I do like Apollis, quality player. Not with shooting like that, though. Good result. Solid start. Absolutely deserved to win. 1-0. Can't complain. Right, game number 2. I think we are second. Czechia won their game, and they've won their second game as well. So if we win, we are through. Here we go. There, Pineda wins it well. Sanchez now coming forward. Gutierrez. That's an optimistic... Oh, that is tragic. That is tragic. Oh, you feel for the virtual players, eh? Kim Min-jae just don't know what he was doing, and that's the easiest of tap-ins for Quinones. It's been quite the start to this game. We're what, 12 minutes in, quite a few highlights. Can we get a second here? Now Pineda into Gutierrez. Back out. Pineda, whip it in, lad. Or not. Here's Gutierrez. Back to Sanchez. Okay, Alvarez going for it. Closer than I expected. Here we go. We're doing a good job of pressuring them at the moment. There's Gallardo. Does well to win it back. Here's a chance for us to go long. And there's Raul Jimenez. The pacey Raul Jimenez. And goes for distance. That was never going in. Never in a million years. Here you go. Aguirre can keep on losing possession in midfield. I'm happy with that. Here's Gutierrez to Pineda. Back out to Sanchez. Sanchez now cross and Jimenez. Jimenez, you should have scored that. Here's Quinones. Moves it on quickly to Jimenez. Gutierrez now out wide to Sanchez. He's got to play that down the line. He does indeed. Oh, I love that. There's Gutierrez peeling off. Quinones at the far post. Get in. Boom. That's what we needed. Oh, I love that from Gutierrez. So this is what I was talking about as well. We've got the support underneath in Gutierrez. He's just inside, able to play that pass there. Dinks out a lovely little cross to the far post. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I mean, that's as good a first half as you're likely to see. I mean, we very much... I know it says 1.98 XG, but I feel like we deserve more than 2 goals. Okay, here's Jimenez. Turns and fires Quinones. Can we get another here now? Plays it out wide again. A lot of joy down this right-hand side. Gutierrez across to Lira, and that's 3-0. I did not expect Eric Lira to score. I think that is his first goal. I don't know what's happened in the save. Like, when it started up the save, it might have simulated him scoring goals in friendlies. But in real life, that would be his first goal for Mexico. It's just rolled to him on the edge of the area, just gently passes it in. Hyun-woo probably could have done a little bit better. I mean, that was a complete performance. South Korea barely... I don't think they had a highlight. What more can I ask for? Right, time for a little bit of rotation. We've got a lot of players, one booking away from suspension. So changes at fullback, change on the right wing as well. We just need 1 point to top the group. And that could potentially set us on a crash course with England. Right, here we go, a chance to come away. Quinones, he's been our player of the tournament so far. Finds Chavez. Chavez cuts back. Is anyone going to shoot? Maybe, maybe not. Here's Quinones. No, he's not going to shoot. He's not going to shoot. Oh, not you. I don't want you to shoot. Oh, Vasquez decided he's going for it. Vasquez goes forwards. Wow, it seems to be our defenders shooting. Who cares about attacking players? Right, can we do something from the corner here? Here's Alvarado. Playing in place of Pineda. Gets the ball back. Can he find a man? He takes it himself. Not a great angle for a left footer to shoot, that one. Right, 5 minutes to go until the half. Got to be pretty happy with this. Again, Not seen a highlight for Czechia. I mean, this looks like it might be one. No, good defending by Montes. Can we come away with it? Here's Alvarado now. Just running slowly into 3 men. But here's Gutierrez. He finds Jimenez. He's in behind. Jimenez! Get in, lad. I said he was washed the other game. What do I know? What do I know? Yeah, Alvarado just waits for the attention to come to him, finds Gutierrez. That's a lovely pass. Mora has not... I've wanted to bring Mora on, but Gutierrez has just been so good. Nice finish as well. Pretty solid for a first half. I mean, Czechia have had better quality chances but not good per se. Not a single highlight. This is the first highlight of the half. There's 3 minutes left. Maybe we can make it 2-0. I'm not going to complain. Here we go. Into the far post. Here's Mora. Finds Gutierrez. And there. And that says everything about the quality of this half. Although... highlight's not over. Here we go. Send it long. Here's Derrida. Right to Provod. Just got to hold on now. 3 clean sheets in a row would be a great start. Although Derrida's in now. Yeah. Yeah, I tempted fate with that one, didn't I? I honestly can't remember a single highlight for South Africa, South Korea or Czechia. The first proper chance and we've conceded. Ah well. I should be happy. We're top of the group. We're top of the group. But that goal, 92nd minute, so deflating. Here we go. Scotland in the second round. Orblin's back. Fullbacks are back. I've just got to be worried about the fact that they are good in the air. Oh, Pineda robs Robertson there. Here's Quinones. What have we got? Okay, we're going back. That's a lovely ball over the... Did he just chest that to Jimenez? What? This is a beautiful ball from, I think it was Romo. It is indeed. Perfect timing. And he did. He chests that into the path of Jimenez. Absolutely filthy. Let's see, looking for a second now. Not with passing like that, though. Right, Scotland out wide. Here's Robbo. Plays it inside to McGinn. Across. Christie. Okay, we're doing... Okay, I was going to say, I like how we're forcing them back. And then Adams scores. I mean, are they... I think he was onside, right? He wasn't. We got away with that one. That didn't look offside in real time to me. Here we go. Yeah, he's quite comfortably offside. All right. I mean, to be fair, dark blue and dark green aren't exactly the clearest colours to see between. That's the excuse I'm going with. Okay, it feels like Scotland are starting to get a little bit of momentum here now. Here's Ferguson into McTominay. Can he play it back to this? Has got to be... We got lucky there. Right, time just to demand a little bit more. We need to see something. Scotland have started to turn the screw a little. Of course, you know, a second goal right now would be kind of nice. Here's Gallardo into Quinones. He finds him and it's Gutierrez is over. Gutierrez! Gutierrez! Get in. Oh, that takes the pressure off. I mean, Scotland were very much the better team the last 10 minutes or so. But here's Jimenez with the touch. The defender comes all the way over, leaving Gutierrez free. First time. I mean, he deserves that for his performance so far in the tournament. Glorious stuff. Right, if we could hold on, that would be much appreciated. But here's Hickey now. Hickey beats his man easily. Can he get a shot off? He can't. Is that a penalty? How did he miss that? McGinn. I mean, the highlights have made it feel a lot worse than it is. But actually, we seem to be fair value. Here we go. No, Pineda. Silly dribble. But we've got away with it. He's got past his man now. Here's Pineda. Sends it in. Jimenez! I thought that was in. Here's McGinn again. Sends it out to Robbo. Do Scotland have a response in them? Back to McLean, across, here's McTominay. It's got to be getting that on the target, man. I think we got a little bit lucky there. Scotland's finishing was atrocious. And here we go. Here's the matchup we want. Mexico against England in the round of 16 at the Azteca. Gordon on the right, Saka on the left. Right, here's Gordon now. Easily gets past his man. Oh, this is... We just let him waltz through. Good save. Can we do something from this corner here? Here's Gutierrez. One of my players of the tournament so far, between him and Quinones. That said, though, we couldn't do anything there. And here is Gutierrez. I mean, right, England's chance now with the corner and the Harry Kane. Is that off the post? Yeah, it's the post. Oof. I'm pretty happy with that. 0-0 at half-time. England have just about shaded it, but neither team's been great. Here we go, good defensive work between the three of them. Now Romo. Just not really much space to squeeze through down that right. We've probably got to come across. Or not. Here's Jimenez to Gutierrez. Oh, I don't know why he took it early. Crazy the quality they've got on their bench. But we've done all right. There's not really been much happening this half. Here's Rodgers now. Easily gets past his man. And that's the goal. Well, that's what we're set up to avoid, those kind of cutbacks. We've got all those bodies coming back. Here's Rodgers, though. Breezes past his man. Checks back. Sees the run of Eze. Right, kitchen sink time. We're going to put our left winger at left wing back. We're going to swap our left back for a winger. We're going to send our winger up top. England with a chance right at the end here. Maybe this is it. This is the counter-attack, right? This is an England corner. We're going to hit on the counter-attack and get our equaliser. Maybe. Yep, here we go. Here's Fidalgo. Doesn't even challenge for the ball. There we go. And Saka, that's offside. That's offside. No worries whatsoever, right? 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 Yeah, told you. Never in doubt. I mean, he did look miles off to me. That said, that was the one the other day where I thought he was onside and I was wrong. That is closer than I expected. We cannot save this. Ah, well. It's hard to argue with those results. As expected, it was solid, but once up against elite opposition, it's just not enough. Now, I don't know how well FM models home advantage at the World Cup, or altitude, so I wouldn't be surprised if Mexico could edge it in real life. But in a neutral environment, I think the round of 16, Mexico's eternal nemesis, is probably about right. See you next time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please consider leaving a like or maybe subscribing. Your support means the world. And if you want to join these wonderful folks currently adorning your screen, you can become a member or Patreon. Links in the description below.